Hi everyone, it's the Love Aunt here. Today I'm going to be talking about how you can make a woman miss you, and you can apply what I'm going to tell you to your ex if you're currently in no contact, and hopefully it will make you feel less anxious. So make sure that you stay on to the end to hear all the tips that I have for you, and remember, I'm a gay woman, so I have double the tips and double the perspective. The idea for today's topic came from my friend. Let's call him Joe. Joe had been seeing his girlfriend for a few years, and suddenly, out of the blue, she told him that she wanted to break up. Joe was really upset about it. They'd had a house together and everything, but as a secure person, he respected his girlfriend's decision. He told her that he loved her, and then as she wanted, he let her go. Without any drama, she moved out. And from that moment forward, he kept a respectful distance from her life. He was hurting, so he knew that it was the best thing for him. And he also knew that his girlfriend had a very strong mind. And once it was made up, there was no point of trying to persuade her otherwise. Plus, as a secure man, he wanted to be with a woman that wanted to be with him. So he didn't see any point in trying to make a woman stay that so clearly wanted to go. So he grieved in private and surrounded himself with his friends and started doing fun things with them and getting motivated again, taking up passions that he'd forgotten about and playing more sports again, things he'd let slip in his relationship. And before he knew it, 3 months had passed and they had flown by because he'd been so full doing things he wasn't even concentrating on the time. He hadn't heard from his ex and he hadn't reached out to her. In his mind, she wasn't interested in him anymore. Then one night she turned up at his door and wanted to talk. And to his surprise, after breaking up with him a few months before, she told him that she'd made a mistake and she wanted him back. Sadly for her at that time, Joe had gone through his grief and had enough time to process the breakup and heal from it. And the outcome of this story was that Joe decided that he didn't want to go back to that relationship, but it was nice to have the choice anyway. This is one story out of thousands of the same common occurrence. I want to look at what happens to a woman during a breakup when you do what my friend Joe did and not pursue her. If you're new to my channel, then a big welcome. I'm a spiritual love and dating coach helping people through their breakups and anxiety. Everything that I speak about comes from my personal experience and transformation through breakups and anxiety, and I understand all about how they affect our overall mental, physical, and emotional health. And I encourage people to use their pain as the catalyst of healing and transformation because nothing motivates us more than what heartbreak does. The only way that any of us can ever miss anything is if we don't currently have it in our lives. In another one of my videos, I speak about the fearlessness that you need to demonstrate after a breakup when a woman has ended your relationship and walked away from you. The worst thing that you can possibly do in that moment is pursue her. Because no matter the person and how humble she is, we do all kind of expect and strangely desire for our ex to pursue us after a breakup. Because let's face it, it's good for our egos. But just because she secretly desires it does not mean that you should do it. In fact, it will harm her attraction for you if you do. And let me explain. It will make her decision to go even stronger because if you pursue her, she will see you as beneath her. I know that sounds horrible, but in romantic relationships, we do tend to subconsciously pitch people as either above us, below us, or at the same level as us. And if she thinks that you are beneath her, then you can forget about any kind of attraction. The old saying goes, absence makes the heart grow fonder. And that's really true, especially in breakups. It's the scarcity principle. When a woman breaks up with us, it hurts like absolute hell. We feel weak and powerless, and our self-esteem usually gets knocked. And it hurts our egos. It hurts our egos because too many of us define our worth through our romantic partners. But just because one person chose to walk away from you doesn't mean that you are any less than what you've ever been. Every breakup is different, and there's various reasons why a woman may end things, but getting back to the point of fearlessness, showing your fearlessness by allowing a woman to go without reaching out to her or chasing her communicates strength. And the opposite of running after her, chasing, communicates weakness. Women want strong and confident men. Now, this doesn't mean you can never show your weakness or your vulnerability because we are all human and we must. And actually, it's good for relationships. And I'll make another video soon about how vulnerability is actually a superpower to have in a relationship. But it's crucial for attraction. And if you want a woman to miss you, then in the moment of a breakup is when you cannot show weakness by constantly messaging, calling, or hanging around where you know that she's going to be. For her to miss you, I mean really miss you, you have to be gone completely. And by doing this, because it's really hard for anybody to do, will show that you are a strong, self-assured person that's able to remain calm in the eye of the storm and stay emotionally regulated. Suddenly, when you're no longer present, a woman can really have the chance to be with her decision to break up, because your absence and silence combined is going to be hitting her so loudly that she can then get to understand how much she likes it with you being out of her life. That strong and respectful silent absence makes you look extra attractive in her mind, because if you're not chasing her, then you must be higher value than maybe what she had you down for before. And it means that she will start doubting, more than likely, her own attractiveness, and your feelings for her will become unclear, and she will become confused about how you feel about her. And can you see how quickly there can be an energetic shift when that moment occurs? Your ex, when she left you, she had all of the control, and suddenly, when you're not there anymore and you're not pursuing her, she doesn't have any control. And that can really flip the tables and make her feel powerless, and nobody wants to feel powerless. And the next thing I'm about to mention is enough to boot her into action, just like Joe's ex-girlfriend did. Let me restate that we can only miss someone if they're not around. And in your silence of no contact and being respectful, you'll give your ex the opportunity to start thinking about you more and wondering what you're doing and why hasn't she heard from you. This is the moment that can lead them to become more and more curious, and they start missing you. And the next step is they start getting really worried and anxious that you've gone for good. And when that anxiety hits them, that's when the breakup has the potential to do a complete 180. And it's exactly what happens when we hear of exes start chasing the person that they'd previously broken up with, just like Joe's ex-girlfriend did. Joe was fearless in the face of his breakup, and he had enough respect for his ex and dignity for himself to know that it's a free choice for two individuals to be in a relationship, and if a woman says she doesn't want to be with you anymore, then she was free to enter, and she's also free when she decides to leave it. And as an adult, she then has to face the responsibility of that choice by herself if she has a change of heart. But if you really want your ex to miss you, and you want to stand the most chance of impacting her decision to break up in the first place, then you need to keep your distance, and you need to focus on your healing, your development, and motivation, like my friend did, and let your ex get a taste of life without you around. It's so important, and it will show your ex that you're a strong, assured, and respectful, high-value catch, and that's the type of person that we want to be with every time. So be that person and stand out from the rest. If you want to learn more about regaining your power after breakup, then I'm going to link to the video that I made about fearlessness at the end. And if you'd like to get help about your own situation, then I offer email coaching, and you can find the details of that below. If you found this video useful, then drop me a like, subscribe to the channel, and leave me a comment below and let me know what you thought. Until next time, thanks so much for watching. Take care.